It's 5 o'clock in Pirate Country, and it's time to get pumped up with the P-Man. Hit the door and hit the road. 94.3 The Game is going to get you home, and the P-Man's not holding back.
Yes! Yes! Pirates win! Pirates win!
Bring on the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Holy mackerel! Oh, my goodness!
The flagship station of the ECU Pirates.
Second show of the week. That's right. Second show of the week. Patrick Johnson Show. Third show for me. Well, no. Fourth show for me this week so far. But because we labored on Labor Day, did we not, Philip the Ref Pilkington?
We did. We
labored on Labor Day. Sunholder was great. If you didn't catch yesterday's show, go back on the IBX Media app. You should download the IBX Media app anyway. We've had a bunch of downloads in the last week because with football season coming and all of our great programming, people want to hear it. So if you've not downloaded the IBX Media app, you need to go to the App Store or Google Play and do that right now. It is absolutely free. There are no pre-roll commercials. When you click on your favorite station, it's a couple, 2-3 buttons at the most you're punching on your screen, and you're good to go at that point. So that's what I would say you need to do. I would like you to do at least. We have a great show planned for you today. We're going to have our Houston Huddle every Tuesday during the ECU football season. Coach Mike Houston joins us for a conversation about Pirate football. Last year, that conversation shifted to being live in the mornings on Talk of the Town. With Henry and myself, and then we re-air that here on Tuesday afternoons. So that's where we are with that right now, and it's worked out very, very well. So we'll play that for you here in just a few minutes in case you missed it this morning. Very latest on the Pirates from Coach Houston. And, of course, had the privilege again of sitting in with Stephen Igo and talking to Coach Houston last night on the Inside Pirate Athletics radio show, as East Carolina and Marshall get ready to play on Saturday. Speaking of which, Keith Morehouse, you know Keith, has commentated on Marshall games for many, many years. He's a sports anchor up in the Huntington, West Virginia market and a great friend to us and our program. So Keith Morehouse, whose father tragically died on that plane crash back in 1970 when the Marshall football team left North Carolina to fly home after playing East Carolina. Keith is going to be in Greenville this weekend. He'll be stopping by our Fort Game Day 2.0 location, and we're looking forward to having Keith then, but we're going to talk to him this afternoon about Marshall and the goings-on with the Thundering Herd football program. We'll hear from some Pirate players in our Pirate Report as well. So we have a full docket to get to. I don't want to dilly-dally, but I got to say this, Pilk. Duke last night knocks off Clemson. I stayed up till halftime, and then when I got up this morning to get all the work done to get the day going, ESPN replays a game usually at night, like in the wee hours, like overnight hours in the morning and pre-dawn hours, and they consolidate it. So they take out a lot of the mumbo-jumbo and nonsense, right? So I got to watch the second half and really see the quintessential plays from about the 12-minute mark in the third till the game was over and saw everything. And, I mean, my take on it is this, and we're going to, I think, have Joe Giglio on maybe tomorrow along with Doug Martin. But my take on it was I believe that Duke – athletically was right there with Clemson. Clemson did not out-athlete the Blue Devils last night, and that's pretty amazing if you think about it.
Yeah, I think so. There was a lot of great coverage downfield from the Duke secondary. Duke looked very good, I think, running the football, as well as they were getting more separation, I think, their receivers than Clemson's receivers, which, everybody's going to talk about, the mistakes Clemson made, but Duke made some too. They muffed a punt, which led to the only Clemson points. They turned the ball over late in the first half, and they could have easily had a field goal. So obviously I'm Duke biased, but to your point, I think they were ready for the test athletically as well as mentally. And I do have one thing that is surprising me more than the Duke-Clemson game right now, and this is for our video audience only. Patrick has had the leg lamp forever, but for the first time, he's got it turned on behind him. You can see it all the way up and down Cleveland Street. The leg lamp is on. I love it, Patrick.
It's usually on. It hadn't been on in a while, but we've turned the leg portion of the leg lamp from A Christmas Story on today. So there you go. A great gift from Jill a few months ago. A year or so ago, I believe it was. And look, I do a lot of Zooms for games, because that's how we do a lot of these coaches and player meetings now before a broadcast is via Zoom. And there is a lot of it's a conversation starter, Pilk. It's a conversation starter.
I like it. And it honestly makes me and Michael's job easier. We know whether or not we've lost connection with you because we can see the little tethers there on the edge of the lamp moving. So sometimes you can sit very still. For those of you who have not seen Patrick, I've never seen a man who can sit as still as him, and we can know whether or not he's frozen thanks to the leg lamp. So it actually makes our job easier too.
All right, well, there you have it. Hopefully no freezing up at the home studios today. All right, let's go ahead and get into our Houston Huddle from this morning. Healthwise Pharmacy is our Houston Huddle sponsor this year, and the Houston Huddle is brought to you by Healthwise Pharmacy. Healthwise is a full-service pharmacy serving all of your healthcare needs, including retail prescriptions, medications, durable medical equipment, in-home infusions, as well as infusions in their infusion suite that's located at 615B South Memorial Drive in Greenville. Healthwise Pharmacy brings you the Houston Huddle, and let's bring that to you right now.
Yeah, let's just give a short recap of where you feel the team is after the first week. We all heard you last night on the coaches show, but a lot of our listeners may not have heard kind of your analysis of how that game went. What are your thoughts after Saturday?
Well, I think there's lots of positives. There's lots of things to improve on. We made some of the mistakes I was concerned about making against maybe the most talented team in the country, and they took advantage of those, and that at the end of the day, that's what kept us from having a shot at winning the game. But I think the kids are very motivated coming out of the game. We had an excellent Sunday. They were all around the facility yesterday on our day off, just getting extra work in, getting film in, and I expect us to have a great week of practice. And they're excited about the home opener. They're excited about being back inside Daddy Ficklen.
I was giving my analysis earlier, having been there and having watched it in person. I thought that the defense was outstanding most of the day. They gave up one or two runs. I think their star running back had one run for about 37 yards. If you take that away, it was really a pretty daggone impressive day against one of the top running backs and offensive lines in the country, I thought. Do you agree with that?
Well, it's their lowest rushing total since 2021.
Wow.
And so, I think we played the run pretty good at times. The two plays that the 37-yarder you're mentioning right there, I mean, that's us. I mean, we made the mistake. We should have had a guy sitting right there, and we misfit it. But that's what they do. You misfit one play, and that's what happens because they're going to pick it up and they're going to take advantage of it. And so outside of two runs, I thought we played the run pretty well Saturday. I thought we had like two busts in the secondary. Really, we didn't play the pass that bad. Now McCarthy, I'll tell you, I thought he was really good coming in the game. He's better than I thought. I mean, they're a better football team this year than they were last year, and they were a dang good football team last year. So, there's no more victories though. I mean, we're 0-1.
Right.
We've got to regroup and find a way to win this week. But there are some positives coming out of that game.
Well, you just couldn't get any pressure on McCarthy because they've got an NFL offensive line.
Right. Well, and they were using 7-man protection.
Yeah.
Which both of us were. I mean, it's you didn't have a single sack in the game. But at the end of the day, we got to do a better job getting after the passer this week.
I know Patrick's got some questions for you, but I do want to ask you about the offense and the quarterback situation. You kind of called it in the beginning. You had said that first game jitters were going to be a problem. It looked like Mason Garcia came out there with that and was a little tentative. And then Alex Flynn had the opportunity to kind of sit back and watch, which I've always been told helps a quarterback. And when Mason came back in after he had that opportunity to stand on the sideline and calm down and watch the flow of the game a little bit, he came back and he looked a lot more poised, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, it's almost like, Mason just was not quite as aggressive as we want him to be in the first quarter. And then in the second quarter, I thought Alex did a really good job. And then you flip it, I thought that Alex, had some decisions that, needed to be a little bit more aggressive there in the third quarter. And then Mason comes back in and, finishes the third and plays the fourth and did not have, one, mental mistake or anything like that, and threw the ball with authority. And so, we just got to get those guys, settled down and, got to operate better from the beginning. I mean, that's the end of the day. We got to play better from the beginning right there. But there's, just like our team, there's some positives that they can both take out of that game, and there's some areas that they can really improve on.
ECU head football coach Mike Houston joining us here on the radio. We always appreciate Coach's time every Tuesday. Coach, it was great to have Rajay Harris back after last season's knee injury. How did you think Rajay performed, and how was he feeling afterwards?
He's feeling really good. Health-wise, he's fine. I thought he did some really good things in the run game. I thought he did some really good things in pass protection. He held up against those big linebackers when Michigan did pressure, and really did a good job protecting the quarterbacks. And so I think it was a solid first game back for him.
Also had some other nice performances from the running backs. And I thought for his first college game, Bond really he looked like sort of a seasoned veteran at times out there for you.
Well, I think he looked like the same kid we saw since he got here, and the stage was not too big for him. And he is one that the size of the stadium and the fans and all that had no impact on him. He looked like he belonged out there. So real pleased with his first game out. And we got to be careful because coaches and fans are the worst in the world to anoint somebody after a limited limited exposure. So he's got to we got to see what he does this week, and hopefully he continues to get comfortable and look like the player I think he can be.
And then just one more thing. I think it was really great news on what was a really unfortunate call at the time. Jack Powers tossed from the game for targeting, as the officials put it. And then the NCAA overturned that pretty quickly, so he will not miss the first half of the Marshall game. And that obviously helps the Pirates against the Thundering Herd greatly. Yeah,
no doubt. There was a guy sliding his feet. He was trying to dodge, getting chopped down by that guy. The quarterback's coming right at him. He put his hands out trying to avoid, making contact with him, in the head, neck area. Live, it looked worse than when you look at the video, but that's the reason you have replay. So it's unfortunate that he was ejected last week, but we are fortunate that it got overturned and the correct call was made to reinstate him.
Coach, I hate to complain about officials. I really do, but I mean, I don't get how they can review stuff and look at it over and over again and miss it like that one. Because I mean, on the big screen there in the stadium, it was clear that Jack went over the guy and did not make helmet-to-helmet contact. But the big one, of course, was the touchdown that should have been called back because McCarthy was over the line
on third down.
What did the official tell you about that? What kind of explanation did you get?
Replay confirmed that he was. That's what they say, and you got to remember, I was the head coach against Tulsa in 2020.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm pretty scarred.
Yeah, you are. You're exactly right. Oh Lord, but I mean, I don't. Everybody in the free world saw that one, and that's why we have replay, and they still don't get it right. It's crazy. All right, well, let's move on. Let's look forward. Let's talk about this weekend.
Absolutely.
You get back home now. You're going to have a home Saturday 4:00 kickoff. It's going to be hopefully great weather here in Greenville, and I know the kids are excited about playing in front of their home fans. I hope we have a huge crowd there. We should. Marshall struggled last week a little bit against the CAA team, and then they found a way to pull it out in the end. But what are your thoughts about Marshall? Are they primarily a run first team?
They are. Yes and no. I mean, they threw for almost 300 yards last week, but they have maybe the best running back we'll see all year, Rasheen Ali. Our fans will remember him from 2021. He had a big game against us in 2021. He took the first play of the game Saturday, 70 yards, and it got called back on a holding call on one of the wide receivers. But he still had like 137 Saturday. He is a legit guy. Now he's as good as we'll play against. The quarterback took over about midway last year, and I think went like 6-1 as a starter last year, and then so he's played a good bit. Had a really good game on Saturday. Does a good job with the RPOs and the screens, and throwing the play actions. He runs really well. Those two guys are kind of what makes them go. Now, they got a really good receiver, number 10, Charles Montgomery. They have a transfer tight end that's a really good player from Central Michigan, Cade Conley. But really, it's Ali and the quarterback Fancher that make them go. But yeah, they didn't play to the level of their ability Saturday. I think they were trying to be very vanilla and not show us a whole lot coming into this game because they really didn't do much the first three quarters. Very sloppy, penalties, turnovers, just sloppy play. Got it together in the fourth quarter. This is a good football team. I mean, this is a 9-win team from last year with the vast majority of their team back. And so, you and I both know we're going to see a dang good team on Saturday. They were saving up for us is what they're trying to do, and so I expect them to come in here guns a-blazing.
No doubt. How do you feel after watching your team play one game? I know you're playing against one of the best programs and the best teams in the country, but you can't replicate that speed in practice and just kind of overall kind of performance and attitude and behavior of your players and all that. After watching one game, where do you think this team is, and where can it go?
Well, I think we have a very motivated team. I think that we have a solid roster. I think that they'll be ready to play Saturday. I think we have to execute better, and I think that's what it comes down to. You can't sit here and pat yourself on the back defensively because you played pretty good against a really good team. You got to go out and do it again, and you got to do it every week. You can't kill yourself offensively because you struggled against the top defense in the country. That's no excuse either. We have to execute better. There were a lot of plays there Saturday against Michigan that we should have made, catches that we should have made, decisions that we should have made that would have resulted in a lot more production than what we got. And so we've got to improve this week, and then we've just got to, we got to relax and go play Saturday and play with our freaking hair on fire and just play the way we want to play. And if we do that, now it's going to be a barn burner. Because when I tell you this is a good team coming in here, this is going to be a dogfight Saturday. If we play the way we're capable of playing, it's going to be one of those games that hopefully we find a way to win it in the end. And our fans are talking about it 5 years from now being one of those great battles and epic games in Dowdy-Ficklin. So we're going to need our fans on Saturday. It's going to be a great day for college football, and we're really excited for it. And the kids are hungry for it. They want to get back out there and be the team that they know they can be.
Coach, speaking of turnaround games, the 21 matchup at Marshall, 3 touchdowns for the Pirates in the last 7.5 minutes. That doesn't mean anything Saturday. But I think when you just look at the trajectory of the program overall, I said last night, and I really do believe it, not only did that turn your season around in 21, but I think that was a bit of a turning point for the program.
Well, you had the SMU game to finish 20, which I thought was kind of a statement game for us. And then you had the close losses to start 21, with App in South Carolina. And so it was a needed win in 21, and to win it the way we did certainly made it a dramatic victory and one that you'll never forget. And it did give us momentum that turned into a great season and bowl eligibility again for the first time in forever. And so it's great memories of it. But I think that's the kind of game you're going to expect on Saturday. You're going to expect a dogfight back and forth, and I think these two programs, anytime we play, it's probably always going to be like that.
Coach Mike
Absolutely.
Houston this morning. Thank you, Coach, for your time. Good luck on Saturday. Go Pirates. We appreciate your hard work, and we appreciate it when you take a few minutes with us on Tuesday mornings. It's a joy to have you on. Good to talk to you.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys. Go
right.
Pirates.
All right, go Pirates.
And that was Coach Mike Houston from earlier today on Talk of the Town with Henry Hinton and Patrick Johnson. On the other side of this timeout, we'll be back with more of the Tuesday edition of the Patrick Johnson Show and today's Pirates Report.
R&D Brewing is proud to partner with the ECU Pirates, and now you can enjoy Pirates Brew, the official craft beer of ECU Athletics. Pirates Brew is a carefully curated light beer that embodies the spirit of ECU, a refreshing and easy drinking light beer. Pirates Brew by R&D Brewing is available now at grocery stores, local retailers, and at ECU athletic events.
Head over to your favorite store and enjoy a nice Pirates Brew today, or else you'll walk the plank. Hand me another Pirates Brew.
Fifth Street Hardware is the home of the $9 lunch special Tuesday through Fridays. $9 specials every day, including the famous Burger Day on Tuesdays, Flatbread Pizza Wednesday, the famous Fifth Street Hardware Reuben on Thursday, and fried fish or shrimp on Friday. Plus trivia on Wednesday nights and live music every Thursday nights. And the Prime Rib Brunch Buffet has returned on Sundays. You heard that right. The Brunch Buffet with all the great items, including prime rib. Fifth Street Hardware in downtown Greenville.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass. See the beauty of our coast. Bow Coast, located in Beaufort, North Carolina. Southern Living's best small town.
Just because voice-over IP telephones are the latest technology in the telephone world doesn't mean they're the right choice for you and your business. Whether your internet provider is unable to support a voice-over IP phone system, or you don't have a need for high-tech features and simply want to stick with a traditional system, Spain Telecom is here to help. Spain Telecom offers a variety of services to keep your business connected and competitive. We're confident we can find the right phone system for you and your business, a system that addresses all your communication needs. Looking for a new phone system that won't break the bank? In addition to new systems, Spain Telecom also offers gently used systems that are in great shape and can save you money. No matter your needs, Spain Telecom has a solution for you. Whether it's voice over IP, on-premise systems, new or used, give us a call at 252-353-2006 and let Spain Telecom help you with your communications needs.
Have you noticed he's in his own little happy hour? We're back to the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
This is the Happy Hour program.
Here's the P-Man.
All right, thanks to Mike Houston for joining us earlier for the Houston Huddle. Again, brought to you by Healthwise Pharmacy. Let's jump into our Pirate Report.
And now, Patrick Johnson with today's Pirate Report on the flagship station of the ECU Pirates, 94.3 The Game.
All right, we're hearing from Dustin Hall. He talked about being in on his first game with his new teammates.
It was electrifying, honestly. I mean, these guys have opened me with welcome arms ever since I've been here. So just getting a chance to play with those guys for the first time is pretty exciting.
All right, more from Dustin, who talked about how he thinks the O-line played as a whole at Michigan.
I think it went good. That was our first true time playing as five. I mean, that was a first start for two players, our left guard and our right guard. So I thought we did pretty well considering the fact that we've never played together.
Yeah, and I think that's a point, Pilk, that needs to be made. You know, we got a lot of people crushing Mason Garcia, and I mean, not a bunch of just idiot message board cowboys and cowgirls, to be politically correct. And I mean, the same idiots that crush the play calling. I mean, just it's a tired trope at this point with you know, just the perpetually discontented. But this offensive line was going against probably the best defensive front in the country, and they'd never played a snap together before. So, I mean, you know, it just was Stephen and I were talking about it last night. You could take some positives. I think you could really take the defense as a real positive. But I don't, you know, offensively, that was a different defense. Higher, I mean, it was like an NFL. You know, Henry said in the interview, an NFL offensive line. It's like an NFL defense last night or last week. This weekend that the Pirates are going against.
Yeah, I agree. It was, and you know, the big thing that people aren't talking about, they let up no sacks. When at all this year will Michigan not have a sack? Probably just once. And, you know, Mason and Alex both had to get used to communicating to all these offensive linemen because they've never had to communicate with them in a game atmosphere. So when you're having to do that and then worry about playing, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is. All right, more from Dustin Hall, 6'4", 297-pound Big Ugly, grad transfer out of South Florida. Here is what he thinks about the offensive line and how it will improve from week 1 to week 2.
There's plenty to get better at. I mean, we left a lot of stuff out there, but it takes all 11. So the 5 up front, I think, will grow tremendously this week.
We also have Hall saying he's excited to play his first game as a Pirate in Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium.
Very excited. I remember it was a Thursday night game. Conditions were terrible. It was raining, and somehow this place was still electrifying. So I'm excited to see what good conditions and Saturday football game will bring.
Yeah, good conditions. Right now there's a pretty good chance of rain coming up. So we'll see. Hopefully the conditions will work out, and hopefully things will be good. But we will see. It's a tough weather putt, it looks like, near the end of the week. So we'll see how that will impact things. All right. This is Hall on the new offensive line coach, Morehouse, coming in and how that's helped things.
It helped a lot. I mean, a lot of the verbiage is the same. I mean, plays are going to be different, but at the same time, they're all similar. He's done a great job, even with these young guys. I mean, helping us all transition together to play as 5. So it's been good.
Also, we have Hall here on liking center more than guard.
Honestly, I love being in the middle. I like the control of it. I like to you kind of have a pace of the game. I mean, nothing can happen until you snap it, so I kind of like the ability to slow it down, get everybody on the same page, and let's go.
Pilk, you were a receiver, if I recall, in football, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I played center, and I liked playing center. I didn't like playing guard. I liked playing center, and I enjoyed that because I was not as tall. You might have noticed this as some of the other people.
Yeah. Well, hey, you got to touch the ball every play. Nowadays, the center is the only one who touches the ball every play. Back then, I think the center and the quarterback did. That was before Dan Henning invented the Wildcat. But, now
we had a few plays where we'd snap it to the running back. There you go. There
were
a few plays.
You guys were ahead of your time.
Let's see here. What else do we have? People are just blowing me up right now. It's crazy. Taylor Jackson on the experience of playing in the big house.
I felt as though it was a great experience and great opportunity, especially to start off against the number 2 team in the nation, just to see like what we need to correct and what's things that we need to fix and develop. But it was also a great experience for like a lot of guys, transfers that haven't been here, and we're just playing together.
More from Taylor Jackson on what the team needs to improve on this week.
Obviously, getting off the field on third down, that's always big, and that money down is just something that we pride ourselves on, so we're definitely going to do a better job this week. But third down and rushing the passer.
Let's see here. More from Jackson on going from sitting behind great players to now becoming a starter at linebacker.
It was kind of great, but it was like I know I had to keep my head high at all times and always like keep working. I also learned a lot from them guys, like their mistakes and positives. So it was just good being with them and getting the experience. And like now I'm just taking that leadership role, and it's like it's kind of a little bit different, but I'm getting used to it. I just work hard, and my guys follow me. So.
Couple quick from Marlon Gunn here on how the offense needs to improve after week 1.
I feel like we'll just have to cut like most of the penalties down and just focus on like the mistakes that we made, like try to work on those going into this next game. Because Michigan game is like, pretty much beat ourselves, like it was more things that we could have worked on and, like drop balls, just everything. So I feel like, just get back to the drawing board and just watch that film and just learn from it.
And Marlon Gunn talked about Javius Bond's first game in a Pirate uniform.
I feel like his first game, he showed up. Like, he was ready. He had, not many mistakes, but, if he did have mistakes, his freshman mistakes, so we could always correct those. But I feel like he did, a real good job,
Awesome. All right, great stuff there. Philip the Ref Pilkington with the 94-3 The Game sports update and Pirate Report. And when we come back, we will have Keith Morehouse. We'll talk about Marshall. Some breaking news from today. On the injury front for ECU, here's Pilk with that.
Thanks, Patrick. Philip Pilkington here with your 94-3 The Game Pirate Report. It was announced today by head coach Mike Houston that Kerry King will miss the rest of the season with an injury.
Unfortunately, Kerry is out for the season, and it's I'll tell you what, that one breaks my heart now. That kid has worked his tail off, had put himself in a position to start. He would have started Saturday for us against Michigan. Had a great preseason, and it was just a freak, one of those freak deals. And so right now he's biggest thing with him right now is just trying to make sure he stays in a positive place mentally. He'll be back, but not this year.
And more positive news on the Pirate Athletics front. Sophomore middle blocker Carlina Northcross has been tabbed as the American Athletic Conference Volleyball Defensive Player of the Week, in big thanks to her 13-block performance against Appalachian State on Sunday, a single-match school record. The new AP Top 25 rankings are out for college football. The top 5 are in this order: Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, Florida State, and Ohio State. 2 new teams found their way into the top 25. That is Duke at 21 and Colorado at 22. And the 2 teams that they replaced were TCU, who obviously lost to Colorado, and Iowa fell out despite a win over Utah State. Moving on to the NFL, Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce has hyperextended his knee at practice. It is uncertain whether or not he will play in Thursday night's contest against the Lions. And right after that injury, Vegas moved the line to 6.5 down to just 5 in favor of Kansas City. That'll do it for your 94.3 The Game Sports Flash update and Pirate Report. We'll be joined by Keith Morehouse from Marshall on the other side of this time out.
Brewing is proud to partner with the ECU Pirates, and now you can enjoy Pirates Brew, the official craft beer of ECU Athletics. Pirates Brew is a carefully curated light beer that embodies the spirit of ECU, a refreshing and easy drinking light beer. Pirates Brew by R&D Brewing is available now at grocery stores, local retailers, and at ECU athletic events.
Head over to your favorite store and enjoy a nice Pirates Brew today, or else you'll walk the plank. Hand me another Pirates Brew. Arr.
Fifth Street Hardware is the home of the $9 lunch special Tuesday through Fridays. $9 specials every day, including the famous Burger Day on Tuesdays, Flatbread Pizza Wednesday, the famous Fifth Street Hardware Reuben on Thursday, and fried fish or shrimp on Friday. Plus trivia on Wednesday nights and live music every Thursday nights. And the Prime Rib Brunch Buffet has returned on Sundays. You heard that right. The Brunch Buffet with all the great items, including prime rib. Fifth Street Hardware in downtown Greenville.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass. See the beauty of our coast. Bow Coast, located in Beaufort, North Carolina. Southern Living's best small town.
Just because voice over IP telephones are the latest technology in the telephone world doesn't mean they're the right choice for you and your business. Whether your internet provider is unable to support a voice over IP phone system, or you don't have a need for high-tech features and simply want to stick with a traditional system, Spain Telecom is here to help. Spain Telecom offers a variety of services to keep your business connected and competitive. We're confident we can find the right phone system for you and your business, a system that addresses all your communication needs. Looking for a new phone system that won't break the bank? In addition to new systems, Spain Telecom also offers gently used systems that are in great shape and can save you money. No matter your needs, Spain Telecom has a solution for you. Whether it's voice over IP, on-premise systems, new or used, give us a call at 252-353-2006 and let Spain Telecom help you with your communications needs.
We are.
Riding shotgun with you on the drive home.
It's showtime.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Pirates and Thundering Herd coming up on Saturday. It'll be a 4 o'clock kick, 4:02 if you want to get specific, and 3 o'clock on the ECU Sports Network. We'll have our coverage beginning at 1 outside of the Town Bank Tower, Fort Game Day 2.0. We hope and we anticipate our next guest will slide on by and say hi to us, as we always like when he does. Keith Morehouse, one of the great gentlemen, for years and years and years, has covered the Marshall Thundering Herd. He put together an amazing documentary that aired here in Eastern North Carolina a few years ago to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the aviation tragedy. His dad was the announcer for Marshall, and he was unfortunately on that plane that fateful day where Marshall had played at ECU. So we're going to talk about the matchup and just catch up with Keith Morehouse. Keith, how are you?
I'm good, Patrick. How are you? Thank you for having me, as always.
Yeah, always great to talk. Yeah, we always love talking to you. And, I think you're probably like I am. This is this crazy world of college sports gets crazier, doesn't it?
It does. And funny you say that with all the realignment, and which kind of makes you weary having to read about it and hear about it all the time. I was telling somebody the other day, because of the circumstances between these two schools, I said, it's kind of nice when you can play a game against a team that's kind of considered a rivalry over the years, but it's a friendly rivalry for a lot of reasons. And so when you can go into an environment where you know that people understand, each program and where they came from, and the commonalities between them. It's kind of neat in this day and time because with all this, stretching of the map and everybody going places where they probably shouldn't go, it's really cool to see two teams that, have a nice relationship getting together on the football field. And I feel like that with East Carolina and Marshall.
I think it's great that there is a regional the history's there certainly, but there's at least a regional appeal to this as well. It's easy by and large for the fan bases that want to travel to either location, and I think it's I really hope they will continue to play fairly frequently. I don't know if we're in the world now where you can play every year, but I think this needs to have some regularity to it.
Oh, I absolutely agree. And just a couple of years ago when, the big contingent of former players from that 70 team came up and visited the memorial at the ceremony. And, of course, that game was crazy. It was 42-38, I think. And Marshall had a big lead, and East Carolina came back. I mean, just the passion between the two programs, to me, it kind of embodies what college football is all about. So why not play it? Like you say, you probably can't do it every year. You're in two different leagues. But when you do get together, it's special. And I know the fan base up here feels it. And I feel like a lot of people that I run into down in Greenville and beyond feel the same way. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think it's a great game to play, and I'm glad it's continued.
We have that great marker outside of the stadium, the Marshall Memorial plaque at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. Do you go by and take a peek at that every time you come to Greenville?
Oh, I sure do. I remember when they put it up for the first time, and I was there. And really, what a gesture. It's hard to put into words, for a school to put that kind of effort. And, it's not just a sign. It's a beautiful bronze plaque. And to do that and put that permanently on your stadium, I mean, that says a lot about the relationship between the two programs and the commitment from East Carolina to remember that team and that day. And I can't really put into words what it means to those of us who lost someone that day. And I know the Marshall fan base feels the same way. And as however many come down on Saturday, they'll make sure they go by that visitor's entrance and take a look there. And that's it's quite a tribute, and it's very humbling to see it every time I go down there for sure.
Is it part of the game day ritual? Keith Morehouse, by the way, is with us. Keith is a sports anchor up in Huntington, West Virginia. He is, if you ever go to Huntington, you got to kiss the ring. I'm just going to say that. You got to go see Keith because you're nobody in Huntington if you don't see Keith Morehouse. But do you, do people, is that the memorial there, which is really stunning as well? Do people, is that part of their game day ritual or game day trek?
Are you talking about the one up at the cemetery? Or the
right.
One
Yeah.
On
well, the one on campus, or whatever memorials are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make a good point. A lot of fans do. When let's say alumni have moved away and they're coming back for a game, and now they've got kids in tow, and they'll bring their kids by the fountain and show them that. And I've seen a lot of people go up to the memorial that's at the cemetery. And they'll do that like game day and, lay stuff at the footstone of that memorial, just, some Marshall gear. I know Frank Beamer did it with Virginia Tech one year because, Virginia Tech had a Marshall coach, Frank Loria, was an All-American at Virginia Tech, a player, and Frank Beamer knew him, and he perished in the crash. And Frank specifically had his detail go up by that cemetery, which was really, really nice gesture too. So, yeah, you do. You see people that, do it just to maybe show people that haven't seen it before, and then also to pay their respects as if they're on campus for a weekend and they're not, they don't live here day to day. So, I think you do see people that make a habit of it on game day weekends to go by.
When you talk about Marshall football, this is a part of it. The two programs are linked, but there's been some pretty good moments and some championship teams. 600 victories. Now, this last one was not easy. We can get into that in a minute, but I mean, wow! When you think about that, 600 wins, pretty impressive.
Well, it is, and a lot of those wins, Patrick, came well after the teams that struggled in the 1970 team, in fact, was a team that was supposed to be the one that turned the corner because they had their struggles, the program in the 60s and 50s. And so, when they went up to the 1AA level, or not went up, but when they were reassigned to the 1AA level, and then in the 90s, began their climb, it's been quite a story, to watch them go to where they had been to where they are now, and bowl games and 1AA championships, and last year winning at Notre Dame. I mean, that's the kind of thing, Patrick, that when I was growing up, you watched Prudential College scoreboard and you saw Notre Dame games and highlights, and never in your crazy imagination did you think Marshall would ever play Notre Dame, and you sure as heck never thought they'd ever beat them in South Bend. So to watch something like that happen last year, it just shows where the program, could have packed it in, but a lot of people paid a lot of prices to keep that thing alive, and then you see the rewards when you see them play, the big programs, and they'll go to East Carolina. There'll be 45,000 people there screaming on Saturday. It's somewhere I didn't think that the Marshall program could ever get to, and to watch them do that, it's been rewarding, and it's certainly been fun to cover. That's for sure.
Yeah, I bet. Keith, where was the turning point from, having to just try to get something going after in the wake of the tragedy to where, there was this upward climb?
That's a great question, Patrick. They made it to the 1987 1AA national championship game in Pocatello, Idaho, and they lost to Northeast Louisiana. They had a quarterback named Stan Humphries who played in the NFL, and it was a big game. They lost 43-42. But they had never been to that level, and then 4 years later they built the stadium where they are now. And then in the early 90s, they hired Jim Donnan, who went on to coach at Georgia, and Donnan wins their first national championship in 92, and then he goes to Georgia, and Bob Pruitt takes over in 96, and that's when Randy Moss gets there. And so Moss gets there, and then he's with Chad Pennington for 1 year, and then Moss and Pennington both are Heisman finalists. And after Chad Pennington, Byron Leftwich comes by, and of course he had a great career at Marshall, goes on to the NFL, and Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator with Tampa Bay. And so that 15-year run there they had from 90 to 2003 or 4 really kind of solidified them as a player, and they've kind of kept it going. I mean, they've had some tough seasons here or there, but they've the pride that the community and the fan base has in Marshall is evident, and the program really is a great story of maybe the little mouse that roared. Back in the day they didn't have that capability,
right?
And so they have. Like I said, to go to Notre Dame last year and to do that, it just you don't even fathom that 40 years ago. So it's just been an interesting climb and fun to watch, and it's a testament to a lot of people to keep that thing going and to pick it up even better than it had been.
The 6-time West Virginia Sportscaster of the Year, Keith Morehouse, sports anchor with WSAZ in Huntington, is with us here. We'll probably get a little more into personnel just for the sake of time when you pop by on Saturday. Although, Ali Rasheen is probably going to be the best running back East Carolina faces, and that includes the two guys that they faced last weekend in Ann Arbor.
Saw last week.
Yeah.
In fact, it's funny you mentioned that. I asked him asked Coach Huff today about how the ECU defense took care of Blake Corum and the rushing attack, and he said, "Oh, it was noticeable. I mean, he knew it." And Rasheen Ali is he's a tremendously talented guy. 1,400 yards and 23 touchdowns his freshman year, just came out of nowhere, and then got hurt last year and didn't play until the last 2 or 3 games. But he's now without his knee brace, and he showed that burst last week that he had his freshman year. And Maurice Clarett, former Ohio State star, tweeted about him that he's one of the best running backs in America, and he's a star. And so that's obviously one of their biggest weapons on offense. And he got untracked a little bit last week, and won't be as easy against that ECU defense, I wouldn't think. But he's got a good attitude, and even said to us last week that the injury kind of gave him perspective. You kind of take things for granted in life, and not having the game for half a year or even more than that made him appreciate it. And so he takes things more seriously. And Coach Huff said he's even noticed how much more mature he is. So he's quite a player, and it'll be interesting to see how he fares against that defense.
And Owen Porter's coming off a career high in sacks, and including the game-clinching sack. So the defense really stepped up, but Porter's a handful too.
Yeah, he is. He's a guy, Patrick, that could have gone last year, transferred out.
Yeah,
there were a lot of teams that, you know the story these days. So when you can keep a guy for 5 years, and he's a local kid, played at high school, just Spring Valley High School, not far down the road. And when you can keep a guy who's an all Sun Belt performer, you know, and all conference guy, has a shot if he wants to, maybe at the next level, probably not on the defensive line, but maybe as a linebacker or kind of a hybrid player. But when you keep a guy like that and he stays with your program, he automatically becomes a fan favorite. And he's just a monster. He's got a motor. He takes the game very seriously, and he's a competitor. He's one of those guys that you don't ever have to worry about the effort you get out of him, and that's the way he plays, you know, week in and week out. So he's quite a player for him on the defensive side, yeah.
Keith, safe travels. We're looking forward to seeing you down here on Saturday again, and I think it's going to be a nip and tuck affair. So let's enjoy it.
Hey, I always appreciate my trips there, and don't take them for granted. I'm looking forward to it, and I will stop by and see you on game day. How about that?
Awesome. We look forward to it. Thank you, Keith.
Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah, there he goes, the great Keith Morehouse. Keith's just one of the great guys that you'll meet, one of the great guys in the business, and we'll welcome Keith. Looking forward to having him on. I think Rini Ngoli is going to join us from our Fort Game Day location. He'll be here for ESPNU calling the game for the worldwide leader, Pirates and Thundering Herd. So looking forward to having Rini on. We're going to try to get him on sometime this week, too. See how all that kind of works out. But Rini, a great admirer of Coach Houston and the Pirates, and is one of the really, really good guys out there. Okay, we'll take a timeout, and when we return, we'll wrap things up, get you set for tomorrow.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport. Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass. See the beauty of our coast. Bow Coast, located in Beaufort, North Carolina. Southern Living's best small town.
Just because voice-over IP telephones are the latest technology in the telephone world doesn't mean they're the right choice for you and your business. Whether your internet provider is unable to support a voice-over IP phone system, or you don't have a need for high-tech features and simply want to stick with a traditional system, Spain Telecom is here to help. Spain Telecom offers a variety of services to keep your business connected and competitive. We're confident we can find the right phone system for you and your business, a system that addresses all your communication needs. Looking for a new phone system that won't break the bank? In addition to new systems, Spain Telecom also offers gently used systems that are in great shape and can save you money. No matter your needs, Spain Telecom has a solution for you. Whether it's voice over IP, on-premise systems, new or used, give us a call at 252-353-2006 and let Spain Telecom help you with your communications needs.
Pizza? Ooh. Yes. All pineapple.
No.
What's wrong with pineapple on pizza?
I only eat pizza with pizza things.
That makes sense. Pineapple is a pizza thing.
Also makes sense. Is it though?
This tastes great.
That we agree on.
Let's agree to agree. Pepsi Zero Sugar tastes great.
Can't you just pick off the pineapple?
And now, the stunning conclusion of the show. It's the P-Man here on 94.3 The Game.
All right, we're getting ready for a little departure here. We'll be back tomorrow. It's already midweek. I like it. Already midweek. We're going to have for you Doug Martin tomorrow. We've moved him to Wednesdays during the football season. And I don't know if we're going to have Rini or if we're going to have Giglio tomorrow. We're going to have one of the two on with us. Tried to get a lot of the ACC media brethren on today because I think what Duke did last night was phenomenal. But a lot of those guys were busy covering stuff to 2 or 3 in the morning. So that kind of prevented some of that. I did talk to some of them on the phone or text today, but couldn't work it out to get anybody on the show. But I think that is I think Clemson might be in some trouble. I'm supposed to see him in a couple weeks, so we'll see. All right, big thanks to Keith Morehouse, Coach Houston, Philip the Ref Pilkington, and our entire crew. Great job out there hustling, getting the cuts, and getting everything prepared up for the show today. Back in the morning on Talk of the Town at 7 a.m., 96.3, 103.7, and back here at 5 o'clock tomorrow on another hot day. Too hot. It's the second, what is this, the second or third summer? 5 o'clock tomorrow, Patrick Johnson Show.
Fifth Street Hardware is the home of the $9 lunch special Tuesday through Fridays. $9 specials every day, including the famous Burger Day on Tuesdays, Flatbread Pizza Wednesday, the famous Fifth Street Hardware Reuben on Thursday, and fried fish or shrimp on Friday. Plus trivia on Wednesday nights and live music every Thursday nights. And the Prime Rib Brunch Buffet has returned on Sundays. You heard that right. The Brunch Buffet with all the great items, including prime rib. Fifth Street Hardware in downtown Greenville.
Tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You can't name a lot of things that I didn't do. It's like a paper, like a book, not a Kindle. You outdated, I'm the one they getting into, and I won't break a sweat. Let's get it, 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 let's get it. Child, please, I don't need a child, please.
Are you game day ready? Anson Belt, the official belt of ECU Athletics.
Are you ready for a digital hair color revolution? The Color Master Factory by Chi and LG. A masterpiece of innovation, unlimited color formulations, limitless possibilities. Long-lasting color. Chi.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.